Hey, I'm coming on real quick because I did not do a good job of kind of doing a little intro. This is the third, I think, installment of the Sew the Scrap out of March. I was about to say out of September. So I'm going to take you guys into the footage this week where I am processing my scraps. So let me know, as always, if you have any questions by leaving them in the comment section. And yeah, let's get it into this video. I think that's it. So I'll see you guys after the clip. This is technically an additional installment in my studio vlogs, as well as Sew the Scrap out of March. And what I want to do in this video is take you along with me as I process my scraps. I know that may sound absolutely crazy, but for me, I'm always like wondering, how do people decide what they're going to do? You have all of these bins or all of these buckets or containers of scraps. And so in this video, you'll see that I process the bits that you just saw, and now I'm processing what I would consider the chunks. And for these particular ones, I've decided that I'm going to use a standard size, and I will definitely link the video in the description box of the size that I chose to go with. And that's not going to be for all of them, but I did want a sense of reason so that I didn't have to overthink this process. Now what you're seeing here is me actually sewing the scraps. This is my strips, and I'm just playing with the colors, trying my best not to put two things together that look too close in color. You can think about the shapes, the sizes, whether you've done it before. Honestly, it's a feeling for me because I don't know all the color theory and everything else. What you see here also is I will, once the strip runs out, I go to my little scrap bucket, and my thought is to fill the strip. And so you're going to see me go through that process, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that in the next segment. I want to stop here to show you something. So whenever I do a piece like this, usually I try my best to make it a piece that's at least honestly 3/4 of an inch or bigger. If it's half or smaller than half an inch, then it means that you're gonna lose the majority of it if you do a perfect 1/4 inch seam. And so what I do to try to offset that a little bit is make sure the piece that it's attached to is fairly large. So that way when I'm cutting, I could just take from this side and still leave some of that strip. So when I attach something to this side, I want it to be at least probably almost close to an inch or more. So in this case, I'm going to do this brown strip. So if I need to cut this side or this side, I can still maybe have a little bitty slither of this, and that'll offer a little bit of a contrast or something different if I was to cut this as its own isolated piece. So another thing that I do is when I have a small piece is I like to press the seams open, because this is going to help when it's time to sew. Because the truth is, when you have a small piece, if you do the seam wrong, you can kind of have a lump in here and then you lose even more of it. So that's kind of how I try to, I guess, baby my smaller pieces so that I can still keep them for that pop of color. Putting this little bit of red between two kind of neutral-ish tones will make it stand out. And so, for example, in this case, I could do something like a little bit like this, even though it doesn't necessarily match. It'll go all together overall, or maybe even this one. And again, if I do that slither, then it'll be a nice little pop of something in the middle. I'm putting this extra footage in here to see how I'm piecing everything together, and I hope you can see it. Basically, as I'm going through, I'm just trying to find stuff that is similar lengths, and now I'm at the point where I'm trying to balance the I guess I'm gonna call it the texture because I don't know what else to call it. So on this side it'll be a lot of bumpiness potentially on the back, so I'll make sure that I press this pretty flat, and then on this side it'll be smooth. So I'm gonna go press it, and I may put another piece that's pretty much just a singular piece on this side to balance it out. As I do this, it makes me pretty much I've decided that I won't make this a pieced backing because I don't want it to affect the other side. But depending on how flat I get it, I mean, it may be just fine because of the batting in the middle. I don't know yet, but for now I'm having fun piecing everything together, and it's going well, even the small pieces, and I just wanted you to see that. So now I'm going to go over to the iron and I will take you with me to do that. I have one more piece that's like this, that's really small, that I'm probably going to go ahead and stitch up before I go back to the iron. See, look at this. This is almost an exact piece. So I'll piece this, even though it has a tiny bit of salvage. And I will probably try to find one more piece to take that off, and it'll be bumpy, but what I've been doing is kind of also offsetting the bumpiness by putting the piece on the other side. So for example, here I could cut here and then put another non-bumpy piece here. So for example, this, right? I could put one more piece over there and then put this on the end, and that'll be a really cool looking block. And I am going to do that. I'm going to do this to this. This is my pile that needs to be pressed. I'll do this to this. And then I'll do this long piece and attach it. Kind of want to do this though. I'm going to go press, because if I go press, I can see things a little clearer, and I may wait just a little bit because I have more pieces over there to cut down. And when I cut those, ooh, see, like, look at this, almost a perfect size. I'm going to still do this one before I go over, and I think I'm going to still do this, and I think I'm going to still do this. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ew, ew. Ew. See, this is how it like builds. Boom. Boom. Let's do this one first. I hope you can see it, because right now that's the best angle I can get. This honestly would probably go a little faster if you were to actually either pin or clip, because some of these pieces are so small that it may have actually been a little bit better if I would have done a walking foot. But I'm okay with just holding the pieces by hand. And this particular one, some of these, because they've been sitting, I'm going to go ahead and open this seam. Oh, it took up all that selvage too. Okay. Now I had this here, 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 here. So let's make it happen. I kind of want to do it from the top. Here we go. Because it may be a little bit easier to control, because this piece is so tiny. This one's probably way too tiny than what I normally do, but I don't care. I mean, I care, but I'm just not sweating it. And because this is like this, I'm going to turn to the blue side. Make sure I get that little chomped off portion. Get all of that chunked. And this here. This probably would have been a little bit better. Not probably would have, if I would have pressed it first, but as you all can see, I'm just going with it. Since these all are the same fabrics, it is kind of difficult trying to keep the stars from each other, because the stars are on several of the prints, even though they're in different colors. Okay. I like putting it on the strip. even though it's super tiny. Look at that. Itty bitty, itty bitty. Itty bitty, itty bitty. Oh, perfect. Itty bitty. Itty bitty. I'm making songs about it. Like to hear it go. Oh, this is so small. I hope it doesn't make it go away. It might. I'm almost out of bobbin. Oh, it didn't. Yay. See? Now, how am I going to do these? I'm going to do them based on the increments that are comparable. And I may like cut this and add it on to something else, so it won't be this whole strip. At least that's the plan. In theory. That's what I want to start saying. In theory. Because when and this will be another piece, I'll press this, cut it down, and add it more to some of these solid strips that were not big enough. And I'm glad I'm doing this now before I cut the rest of it, because it will help me to see that these little strips actually do hold up pretty well. So now I'm going to press. Down here, I'm just showing you, I'm cutting everything down, and not to its final size, of course, but I want to make sure that I have one clean edge so that I can keep building. At the time of doing all of this, in my mind, I'm aiming for somewhere eventually around a 12.5-inch block. So right now, these are all just pieces that I hope to build to one complete block later. So right now, I'm just kind of cleaning it up, giving myself a fresh new base. So what I'm going to do, because I think this is going to be the ending point for this video, this has all been kind of about piecing. I'm going to save this. So here's what I have so far in my live video. And these all will be cut down. All I wanted to do was kind of have a straight edge. It didn't have to be perfect, but this makes for a great foundation for more piecing. So like this, I will piece with this. I know, I'm pretty certain I will. You know, things like that. Just going through, pressing these and making them an opportunity to do more piecing. Some of these may be pieced together, probably more like this, trying to change up some directions a little bit, but just making sure I had straight edges. I'm going to piece them so that they will be consistent with a 2.5 by 3.5 base, so some sort of increment of that. So right now I just want to make sure they're at least 3.5 inches, and then I'll start piecing them together. And I'd like to piece them into 12-inch blocks. If you watched my video, and I'm just going through all of them that I have so far, it's not a lot, but I did pretty good. I this is good because a lot of these came from the pieces, and I have a bunch of strips that you can't see. Let me just grab them. I have a bunch of strips, so I'll be able to definitely, you know, expand these. I also have quite a few chunks that I'm going to cut down, and then I have quite a few of the standard pieces for the So Very Easy Truly Scrappy, I think that's what she called, quilt. I'm not going to call it a pattern because it really isn't a pattern, but I would say it's a technique. And this is all what I'm going to call my grass for my my pinwheel garden. And that's what I have. I have some more, just a few chunks about this big. I'm going to save these because I want to pineapple some of the smaller, let me see if I can grab one. Here we go. For some of my smaller pinwheels like this, I want to get them a little bit larger like these. So I may use background fabric or some of this other fabric like this to just give them a little bit more size, and then put the kind of my scrappy garden around my flowers. These are my flowers. So yeah, these are all so far that I have. I have more pinwheels to make, plenty of pinwheels to make, but these are what I have. And I hope this picture is not way too big, but it's because it's to have it overhead. Let's see if I can go back a little bit, just a little bit. It's hard for me to see because I'm short. But yeah, so here's what I have. And these were actually some leftover triangles that I just pieced together to make more half square triangles. So I'm going to press these and make these into pinwheels. 1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 5. So I'll do something else with one. And that's pretty much probably all I will do for today. The rest on the wall are pinwheels. So yeah, but for now, this is it, and I am out. I'll see you guys in the next video. This is officially episode probably 3 of the Sew the Scrap out of March, and I will keep going and keep you guys posted. Talk to you soon. Take care and goodbye.
If I can't have you, I don't want you to have anyone. And if you don't want me, there's something wrong with them, right? Maybe I got problems that I don't tell anyone. Have I lost my perception? Feel like I wanna do something wrong now. Packing all your belongings, say you wanna take some time. But if you say we'll meet again, why'd you have to take everything now?